Hey guys, Caitlin Magic here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own black box from the game Nier Automata. Let's get started.
For this project, you're going to need 5 or 6mm foam, an X-Acto knife, box cutter or retractable knife, heat gun, contact cement or hot glue, a plastic folder, packing foam, and string LED lights. The first thing that we're going to do is print out the template that I made for the black box, or make your own, and trace the square onto some craft foam. For now, you're just going to cut out 4 squares using the box cutter or retractable knife. I'm just using some scrap foam from a previously failed black box. After you've got your 4 squares, you're going to cut out the details of your template with an X-Acto knife. I left some space on the sides where I wouldn't cut into so that the foam would still hold together in one piece. You could also alternate which side would be cut all the way to the end while still not falling apart. I do this later on. If you want to make it simple though, just stay away from the edges while you're cutting. Next, you're going to trace your templates onto your squares. To make sure that the template doesn't move around too much, I'd recommend taping down the sides and the little parts in the middle that might shift while tracing. Once you're finished tracing, it's time to cut it out. Make sure you take your time with this. I also put my square on top of a bit of leftover foam so that it's easier to cut all the way through the foam without having to double over it too much. For me, I got a cleaner cut than I would have just using the cutting board. And again, I'm just using an X-Acto knife here. After it's all cut out, it's time for the heat gun. You're going to want to heat over the rough edges just to smooth and seal everything off. Once you do that with all 4 squares, we're going to glue them together. I use contact cement as my adhesive just because I find it works the best with my foam. You're going to want to put about 2 or 3 layers, waiting for the glue to dry between each layer. And if you don't have contact cement, you could also use a hot glue gun. Be careful when placing the foam, because once you place it with the contact cement, it's really difficult or impossible to readjust. Next, we're going to cut out the top and bottom pieces. Trace the edges of your black box on a piece of paper to use as your template to cut out 2 pieces of foam. Make sure when you glue the top part, you only glue one edge down because we'll be putting a magnet on the other side. To put the magnet in, you're going to cut out a little slot for the magnet to fit in and then glue it in. Make sure you don't cut all the way through the foam, just enough for the magnet to fit in. I didn't do that here because the magnets that I had on hand were just a little bit too big. Next, you're going to trace your squares onto some clear plastic. I actually just used some plastic that the shower curtains I bought came in, but you can use a clear folder or anything you think would be sturdy enough but still clear. Make sure the plastic square fits comfortably inside the black box. You're going to do this 6 times, and then just put them aside for now. Next, we're going to prime the foam. You can use whatever priming method works best for you. I'd recommend using Plasti-Dip, but they don't sell that where I live, so I'm just using some clear gloss emulsion. I put about 4 or 5 layers on to seal the foam. You could also use Mod Podge or a water and glue mix. Wait for that to dry, and you can go ahead and spray on 1 or 2 layers of black spray paint. Now we take those plastic squares we cut out earlier and glue them inside. Use contact cement or hot glue to put a line of glue on the top and bottom of the square. Do this for the inside of the black box as well. You can also use some super glue to glue down some of the small parts sticking out onto the inner plastic. Next, you're going to take your packing foam thing, I'm not actually sure what the right term for it is, and you're going to cover the inside of the black box. You can glue this down if you want, but I usually just let mine sit inside and glue the foam to only the top part of the lid. Once the packing foam is snug inside, you can go ahead and put your preferred LED string or light inside. You can put 1 or 2 depending on how bright you want it. I put 2 in mine.
And that's it. Now you have your very own black box. And you can use it as like a cosplay prop, or maybe you want like a little light to set on your desk or something, but either way, I hope that my tutorials helped you out, and there's going to be a lot more tutorials like this in the future, or making up videos, so if you're interested in that sort of thing, make sure you, I don't know, follow my YouTube, or I'm going to be posting these on Patreon about a month in advance, so if you want to see it first, you can join over there, but if not, it's okay. I'll post this on YouTube later than Patreon, so you're still going to see it either way. Yeah, and that's it. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this whole like talking to a camera like this sort of thing. But I hope that you had fun building with me. I guess I'm gonna sing a song too. Anyway, this is getting way too awkward for me and I'm gonna go now. But thank you so much for watching. Bye!